Shalom, family. Today, I'm coming back to you with sharing with you a article. I've been sharing a lot of articles on this website called Genesis through the lens of anthropology, and so today's article is going to be on the Jerusalem that David knew, and it was dated November 23rd, 2011. And the article is written by a Alice C. Lindsay, and she based her research on archaeology, linguistic, um, DNA study, migration studies. So, anyways, again, her article is called Just Genesis, and she has hundreds of articles that has written up on the history of Jerusalem and the people of Israel. So, anyways, it says Jerusalem, Jerusalem that David knew is the oldest part of the city. A 12-acre ridge south of the Temple Mount, known as the City of David, 2 Samuel 5:9. It extended south of the old city walls. This area was inhabited continuously for 2,000 years before David. In David's time, there was a fortified citadel under control of the Jebusites, Jerusalem. Jerusalem, which is called Urusalim and Akkadian, I think it is, was an important shrine city in David's time, exhibiting typical characteristics of ancient shrine city. It had flowing waters from a perennial spring and was built on a precipice, as was the shrine city Nekhen, El-Kab. But I want to show you something on the eastern bank of the likewise famed for its spring and high citadel. So I'm going to go to this link here because it's going to explain who the Acadians are. And it says here that in David's time, there was a fortified citadel under control of the Jebusites, Jerusalem, which was called Urusalim in Akkadian. So I'm going to click here. So go down. It says 28,000 words Acadian Dictionary finished. And it goes on to say love notes and divorce papers, accounting ledgers and legal briefs, omens, letter between kings, thoughts on the benefits of flaxseed and the fortune-telling properties of sheep liver. Then it goes on to say at the bottom here, let's see, I want to drop down here where it says, let me read this. It says the Akkadian cuneiform script was used to write Sumerian, Elamite, Hurrians, and Hittites. The University of Minnesota Classical and Near East Studies Department provides this explanation. Akkadian is attested in writing from the mid-3rd millennium BCE until the early 1st millennium CE. And during this long span of time, it became the vehicle for the literature and scholarship as well as the practical records and keeping of legal documents, correspondence, and public inscription. It said the Akkadian language and cuneiform scripts was adopted as the international medium of written communication throughout the ancient Near East. When they say ancient Near East, it's in Northeast Africa, from Iran to Egypt during the 2nd millennium BCE, which is the whole area was Mesopotamia. I'm sorry, it's on my throat. It says the other word, Akkadian, was the script of the ancient Afroasiatic dominion, and it was a simplified system which made communication across vast empires easier. For example, all of the 29 Proto-Semitic consonants are preserved as distinct sound in the ancient Southern Arabian language, the languages of Sheba and Dedan, but Akkadian had only 18 consonants. So I'm going to go ahead and click here on the ancient Afroasiatic dominion. Okay, so I'm not going to read all of that. Actually, this wasn't what I wanted to go. I'm just going to read this real quick. It says, this is another article, Monday, March 10, 15, 20. I mean, March 15, 2020, 10. Um, goes on to say here that Ganga and Ometic is related to a word meaning river. Okay, I don't want to go there. Let me go back because there was another part here I wanted to look at. This is not, I think, let me go back. So I think it's right. Here's right here. That's where I want to go. It says the, okay, so Muslim. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to click here. Okay, yeah, that's one. Look here. It says, now this is on David time. It said the city that David knew. It says that the teraphims are idols or ancestor figurines. It says, look at these ancestor figures from Central Africa. And these was idols. Remember Abraham's father, Terah? These were the type of idols they had in their home. It's going to also mention about one of Jacob's wives. It says, um, Genesis 31:34. Now Rachel had taken the household idols and put them in the camel saddle, and she sat on them. And Laban felt through all the tent but did not find them. This is what she was hiding. The African figurines from Central Africa. It says the word teraphim is usually rendered images or idols, but the word actually means the thing pertaining to Terah. Terah is an ancient word meant priest. Abraham's father was called Terah, though this is likely a title and not a proper name. This is the case with other biblical persons such as Lamech and Enoch. My thing is all over the place. I'm sorry, y'all. Pulling my computer over a little. Um, okay, right here. It says a teraphim which Rachel hid from Laban was small clay. I'm sorry, small clay figurines that represent Rachel and Jacob's common ancestor. Again, this is the figures here that she was probably one of the figures here that she was hiding. A type of figures. It says the common ancestors, the great Hurrites ruler priest Terah. There would have been at least two figurines, one male and one female. Possibly there was three figurines, one male representing Terah and the two female representing Terah's wives. The set of the three would have great value as they represent Terah's kingdom. It says, given the urgency of Rachel's action, these figurines must have had great significance according to the Harite and Horite legal records. Possession of the ancestor figurine validated claim of inheritance. Excuse me. Okay, it says it's teraphim were likely clay figurines with perforations around the top of the head. The hair of the ancestor Terah would have been woven through the holes. Such perforated figurines, such perforated figurines, perforated figurines, dated to as late as the time of David, King David, have been excavated in Israel and are preserved among Israel antiquities. Yeah, they got all the records and all our ancestor records and stuff hidden in there. Sorry, y'all. This is really um, hidden in their museum and stuff. It says the Tifferine were likely clay figures with perforations. Okay, antiquities. That is in Israel, excavated and then placed in Israel and preserved among the Israel antiquities. Don't go any further. I'm gonna be reading all of this. It's a long. Well, it's not too long. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and read it. It says antiquity. It says the word Tifferine appears in 1 Samuel 19:30, 19, chapter 19, verse 13. Michael took the Teraphim and laid it on the bed and put a coat of goat hair at his head and covered it with clothes. Wow. It is not certain if Micah covers ancestor figurines or sacred images or idols, or if she simply hoped these would serve a decoy. However, it is clear that these are larger than the Horites Hebrew ancestor figurine Rachel hid under a saddle. Okay, it says clay figurines made with relic from an ancestor are carefully guarded by their family. These are passed from generation to generation, often through mother line, as the case of Teraphim mentioned in Genesis 31. More drop down here it says, among Abraham, among Abraham early Hebrew people, among Abraham's early Hebrew people, great ancestry would be regarded as living as present as living person. So among Abraham's early Hebrew great ancestor chiefs would be regarded as having as real as present as living persons. Their relic would have been guarded by Terah clan and passed from generation to generation through the mother's line. The custom is traced to West Central Africa, and there's much physical and anthropological evidence for the practice. See, she always go by. She really doesn't just go by the Bible or the Word. Well, we should go by the Word definitely, but she also go further and start researching actually the history based on her findings, archaeology, migration, linguistic, DNA. So then it goes on to say the Sao culture in the Cherry Valley of Cameroon produced elaborate human figures, sculptures representing defied ancestors. Carbon 14 dates for Sao figurine dated from the 5th century BC to the 18th century AD. Small figurines of fire clay dating to the 6th century BC was excavated at Dama near the Lake Chad, Noah's homeland. To the 6th century BC were excavated at the Dama near Chad, Noah's homeland. The figurines were simply animal figures in clay produced by a population of Nilotic herdsmen. The Dama style. The Dama style is different from that more sophisticated knock figurines further to the west. Knock was a fully Iron Age culture, producing large hollow sculptures in well fired pottery, some of the stylistic features of which imply still earlier prototypes. In traditional African and Asian society, ancestors are honored by family and communities in the home and at shrines. These places hold relic of the ancestor. Contact with the relics is believed to stimulate awareness of the ancestor's presence and produce traces whereby living communicates with the dead. The Yoruba of Nigeria believes that the created god Olarum is served by a pantheon of lesser deities and called Orisa. Figurines of honor Orisa are guarded by families and clans. The voodoo practice of the Caribbean comes from the West African religion. In voodoo ritual, a relic of hair, nail clips, or an item of clothing must be used to identify the figure with a living person. Yeah, that's why we're in trouble now with all that voodoo and stuff. But there was another, there's another part here that I wanted to. Um, the priests, where is that? Cherry Kingdom. We talked about the Odo people. Let me go back. Let me see. Exact tribe. Maybe this is it. Mm, yeah, this is the part right here. So I'm gonna go down. Let me start. See. Okay, so let me go ahead and do a start here. Since the high tent, this is the extant biblical people, or exact, no exact, extant biblical people, biblical people. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna start here. It says the ancient tent was the residence of the chief or ruler of the clan. So we're talking about clans here. It says the clans and tribes of the Bible represent governmental units based on family and marriage ties. The clan is often designated by the head tent, whatever that word is. In Egypt, hieroglyphic was the symbol of a tent peg. Tent peg represents by the ancient Hebrews and Arabic letters Wa. It says the high tent was the residence of the chief or ruler of the clan. The clan or tribe and the locale were often named for this person. This is why there are so many place names that correspond to rulers in the Bible. Clans and tribes of the ancient world moved farther than is generally recognized. The Yoruba of Nigeria and Benin originated in ancient Kush. This makes the work of tracing biblical people more challenging, but often clan marriage ties and lineage can be identified by their totems. The ruling tribe is designated by the scepter, which is Hebrew, which in Hebrew is Shin Al Bet. I don't know. I don't remember this one, but I know this Shin Bet. I don't know what that one is. But anyways, according to Genesis 49:10, I'm trying to learn some Hebrew on my own. The scepter should not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Here Judah is designated as the ruler tribe, and as Jerome correctly interpret, Shiloh, Shiloh refer to the Christ who is to be sent. This prefigures the Son of God who will rule over people from every tribe, nation, and tongue. Revelation 5:9. And of his kingdom there shall be no end, no end. There should have no end. It says the scepter belonged to the high priest who rules over the confederation of clans. The scepter is sometimes called the rod, as is a version of the pharaonic crook. The crook will fail were symbols of the power of the ancient Cush and Egypt, from whence came Abraham's ancestor. So the scepter, talking about the scepter here, I'm not going to click on that. A scepter belonged to the high king who rules over the covered confederation of clans. The scepter is sometimes called the rod. and is a version of the pharaonic crook. The crook and flail were symbols of the power of the ancient Cush in Egypt, from whence came Abraham's ancestors. Okay, I'm going to read a couple more, then I'm going to shut this down. It says, this is where I want to get to right here. It says the family-based units are extremely resilient and usually adapt well, well to changing circumstances. This allows for the succession of the rule through many centuries, even millennia. Though it is assumed that the clan and tribes named in Genesis are extinct, it is more likely that many are extant and can be studied to gain better understanding of the cultural context of the people of Genesis. Certainly, this is the case with the Jebusites and the Yoruba people who migrated to Nigeria from the Nile region. It says the Jebusites were a Nilotic Saharan people who migrated into Palestine, into the region of the Benue through with, when the Sahara began to dry. They migrated to Nigeria, where they control the major water system at the conjunction of the Niger. And is that Benue? Should be Benue. Benue River. What is the Benue? I guess it's Benue River and at the Atlantic coast near modern Lagos. They also moved into the land of Canaan, where one of their leading men, Melchizedek, was the ruler priest of Salem, Jerusalem, in Abraham time, Genesis 14:18. It says the modern day Jebusites are the Ijibu, and they live near and have close association with the modern day Edomites who are called Edo. Both tribes have lived in Nigeria and Benin, and Canaan, the Jebusite, has close connection with the Horites of Edom. Um, it says the study of the living Jebusites enables us to trace their Nilotic origin. The supreme ruler of the Ijibu is called Awujuli, and his coronation ceremony involves palm branches, just as Jesus was greeted as one to enthrone the Jerusalem, formerly a Jebusite city. It says the president of the Wajuli has described how the Ijibus are descended from ancient Nubian and Egyptian Cushites. He pointed to the correspondence between the coronation rituals, the sacrification, sanctifications, scarifications, sorry, circumcision, and linguistic. Over 100 Yoruba's words are virtually identical to ancient Egypt. Where here are some examples. They give some examples right here. Real striking right here. Check this out. It says Egypt, and this is Yoruba. Wu, Wu, rise. Asa, or Osiris, and then Usa, father. Eri, or air, or R, serpent. Eri, path serpent. And it goes on top. See this here? Sin, worshiper, sin, to worship. That's the real close, y'all. This is real, real close. And we know that the Yorubas are Israelites. And we know that all melanated people is not Israel. you know. Um, so we're given bywords, names that really doesn't belong to us. So we all mixed up in the head as far as who we are. Then we know now, but um, they had us going. I mean, they're changing our names like left and right every other day. Seemed like it. Okay, I wanted to take you somewhere else. Not this. Go back up here. It told me about the Edo people. I know. Let me see down here. Christian Brand. Let me see this right here. Nope, nothing there. Oh, I must have overlooked that one. Which came Abraham says. Let's see what this looked like. Take me some to some totally different. But anyway, the Edo people. She did mention about the Edo people. Right here, they said the Edo people both tribe for us in Edom. Let me look at this. I call this the Edo people. Okay, so I guess with Edo, Edomite, I think I did a video on this already. Called the Edomite, the Bible are related to the Edo or Idu, Nigeria, and Benin. The title of their rulers is further evidence. Um, so I just wanted to show you. It says these are Edo Edo Culture Group children of FASTA International School preparing to make their presentation. Just a picture here I found on the website. And look, they do have red skin. Look at the skin, red skin. So we know Esau was not a white man. He was all of um, Esau and Jacob was men of color. Esau was just a little redder than Jacob. So, anyways, I just thought I'd share that little small article. Um, she has some interesting articles on here, and really interesting. I may not agree with everything that she says, but I do try to look for backup sources like two other sources that, and I've come across some resources from other historians and anthropologists, and they come up with the same thing, same the same finding. So, anyways, I'm not going to hold y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get off this computer. I just wanted to share that with you all. Um, like I said, she has some really interesting articles. I enjoy them. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this short um, and say shalom. And y'all have a blessed day. So, shalom.